Hello, this is Rod Ovid with another Take 5. This is a 5-minute meditation or study that we bring to you every Monday through Saturday here on the Facebook page for Rod Ovid and for Logos Institute of Biblical Studies. We're about to share one of the most important brief passages in all the New Testament. It's something that each and every one of us needs to hear and ingest, chew over, study, and apply. It's from the author of the Hebrews, the book of the Hebrews, and like Paul, this author uses a lot of illustrations from the Greek games, the Olympics, and from other athletic competitions. And the people that he was writing to were really struggling. They were struggling with their faith. Some were tempted to go back to Judaism because they were being told that it was the better alternative, that there was a lot of false things about Christianity, and perhaps Christianity wasn't valid. And the author here does such an excellent job of saying, no, Jesus is better than the prophets, than Moses, than everything that's come before. And in the one chapter 11, he gives this entire panoramic view of historical people that have been faithful to God and that God has helped. He calls it a cloud of witnesses. And we pick it up in chapter 12. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. Let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, scorning the shame, and sat down on the right hand of the throne of God. Consider him who endured such opposition from sinful men, so that you will not grow weary and lose heart. Now we're going to take a couple days to lay this out and chew it over. It's that important. And right in the beginning, the author here is using those very witnesses. And he's saying, look, now that they're all gathered here, now that you've heard their stories and we know it's credible, we need to do something very important. We need to throw off everything that hinders us and any sin that easily entangles us, and then run with perseverance. And that throw off, the word there, apotithemi. Apo means from, tithemi means to lay or to throw, so it's saying, look, you need to throw it over there. And the illustration is from the games where people would run the race or other athletic contests, and they need to keep in shape. They needed to get the weight off. They needed to make sure that there just wasn't a lot of anything slowing them down, be it clothing or excess weight. They had to get off as much as possible where they could run faster, jump higher, etc. The games were that important. And the author here is saying our life is that important. What we do for God is that important. How we live is that important. And we are in a race. And he says, you know what? You need to trim down. You need to take the excess baggage and get rid of it. And you need to take those things that would entangle you and get rid of it. So he says you take this thing, this weight, and you throw it off. And the picture there is the guy frantically ripping the shirt off from the back. You know how you rip it off over your head and you just throw it as you're running. And there are things we need to throw away. There are those things that we need to look at and say, this is slowing me down. This is not helping the cause. This is wrong. It's weighing me down. I need to rip it off and throw it aside. When he says the weight, I know King James says the weight. In the NIV here it says, or everything that entangles. The word there is ankos. And ankos means a bulk or a mass, a swelling. And he's basically, like I said, talking about those things that need to come off if we're going to run our fastest, or if we're going to make it all the way to the end. We need to reduce the weight. And he says those things that would easily beset us. And he mentions the word sin. The picture here is like a long, flowing robe that gets caught and trips you up. It's like those shoelaces that you trip over. It's like not being able to move quickly because you just have too much on, and you finally have to just take it off where your legs are free and you can go. And he's saying you need to do that with some of the sin and temptation in your life. Ankas, that heavy weight. We have to rid ourselves even of the innocent things that might slow us down, let alone those things that literally trip us up. When he says the word easily entangles, it's euperestanos. You meaning readily, cleverly, and the rest of the word basically means to place itself around. So whatever this weight is, whatever this sin is, it cleverly encircles you, cleverly gets in your way. Ooh, it cleverly trips you up. And I don't think we need long to think of some of the things in our lives that do that. We need to throw them aside. If we are going to finish the race in the way God wants us to, if we are going to be efficient in our walk, we need to examine, find those things, and toss them to the side. Now, there's a lot more in these few verses which we'll pick up tomorrow. But right now I want you to pray about it. I want you to think about it and say, Lord, I feel sluggish in my Christian walk. I feel overweight. I feel like I have weights all over me. I feel like I have excess clothing on. I feel like I just need to tear it off. Help me do it today. And he will. Little by little, it can come off. We can turn that corner, and we can run toward the prize. Won't you consider that? Because if you do, and you say, Lord, help me with these things, I know you will have a blessed day today and many more to come.